All right. Welcome everybody to self-nominated episode 5. Got a very special guest today. YDMC is an
The
artist,
ones and twos.
artist, rapper out of the South Bay area, out of San Jose. One of the dopest that we have in our area. That's where I'm from. Definitely a pleasure to have him on here. Want him to tell his story from his entrepreneurial journey, just where it's taken him to this point, and then just kind of his experience throughout the pandemic and how he's able to thrive and kind of just continue with his career right now. But I do want to note on the side of doing music and everything like that, he is really big in the community out here. He helps the youth. He's mentored, middle school students for years. And that's something, he continues to do. So shout out to him for that, for always, giving back to the community, giving back to the youth. But without any further ado, YDMC, what's up, man?
Man, I'm just chilling, man. Just, things been kind of getting back into motion a little bit.
Yeah, I feel you. So just kind of give us and the people a little bit of background about your career, just from an entrepreneurial standpoint, the rapping, the producing, and just everything that goes along with it. Because I always tell people, you're like one of the only people I've seen that does everything, yourself, from the album artwork to production to even selling your own tickets, like for the shows and stuff. So just give kind of people, how your career has been up until this point, or at least up until, a couple of years ago when everything hit.
Man, well, I mean, all that considered, man, it started with the music.
Mm-hmm.
It started with the music. It started with creating art and collaborating with fellow artists, and just really growing a skill, perfecting the craft. It was writing, it was music. It starts from when I was a child. I play like 10 instruments. I've been in choirs and bands throughout school, and I was always a poet. I really enjoyed poetry a lot, and that poetry is really what hip hop is. Hip hop is poetry. And so much so is that's how I got into hip hop, really, like actually creating hip hop, that it was poetry. And I in college I did a couple poetry slams, and I got really into it. I kind of liked it,
Right.
I did poetry in high school, but I did poetry in high school, but I started doing slams in college. Start from little like student group meetings, and then got larger. And one of my
For those of us that don't know what slams are, what are those?
Oh man, it's a poetry concert, man. Like it's people are getting down with their their writing, and it comes with the same emphasis. It's an animated form of poetry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It comes
Right,
with
right.
Is it like a rap battle or like a competition, or
yeah. Sometimes they're competitions. I did a couple of those. Sometimes they were just showcases. Same way you have a comedy showcase or a hip hop showcase,
right?
Or indie showcase. So like these things have there were poetry showcases, and there's different, just like there's different forms of hip hop or different forms of music. There's different forms of poetry as well.
Mm-hmm.
There's tons of different forms of poetry. And so some of these showcases were like, open forum, come as you get down. And some of it was the competitions where like people are really, really getting into it, and it's it becomes more part of showmanship with it. You have to also entertain. So I did a couple of those, and one of my good friends to this day, BAC, my man Brian, said like, man, that was awesome. You should put that on the beat. And I was like, man, all right, why not? Of course, I like, I like hip hop music. I've always been kind of like a, could spit some freestyles and stuff like up to that point. And so I put it on the beat, and I like what I heard. He liked what he heard, and so I started constructing bars and making music. So like that's kind of like how it really started.
Gotcha.
Now, as you start creating that music and you start wanting to share that music, it's not always easy to do. It's not always just a all-in welcome platform for you to share your music to. And in fact, hip hop specifically is extremely competitive and is also extremely diverse, but it's definitely a dense amount of individuals in that art form. There's a lot of people that create hip hop. Some cats that just rap, some cats that think they rap. Like all are in there. But some people are in there. It's still kind of a competition. People want to show out. People want to be the best entertainer. There's same showcases and contests for hip hop as there are for poetry. Be the best artist, outshow the rest of the artists, be the top entertainer.
Right. I think there's a lot of it that goes into it, like, and this is good for people that are just starting out and hearing your story. Like they think it's just, putting words to paper or recording, but that's definitely a huge part of it. Like stage presence, being an entertainer, like that. And that's not easy to do, like at all.
Nah, not at all, man. Like, there's several levels in the game that people fall out on, kind of weeds them out. Some people are great with the pen and the paper, struggle with the recording. So people are great with the pen and paper and the recording, struggle with the performance. Some people are great with the pen, the recording, the performance, struggle with the marketing. What I mean? Like there's all these levels that you have to go through. And if you don't learn, educate yourself and adapt, and that also comes with changing times. The time where I started hip hop, digital sales were just really getting started. Now it's everything.
Right.
It's about.
Like, why? Can you expand on I'm a digital marketing guy.
Okay.
I want to hear what you have to say. How would you define what marketing is? Because there's a lot of people that are listening to this podcast. They've got their own business, but I feel like for a lot of people probably don't give enough attention to marketing. And I always tell people, marketing is how you make your money. If you're not marketing, you ain't gonna make no money. But I want to hear how would you define marketing?
I mean, everybody's everybody's a shark in the water, but marketing is your boat. You know what I mean? Marketing is how you're going to work to be perceived by others. First of all, be in front of others, be in view, be in homes, you know, be on ads, be in mags, you know, there's still print press is still cracking right
relevant.
now. Like,
Yeah, still relevant.
you know, so you if you don't market yourself, and I'm not talking just like as like, you know, a hip hop artist. I mean like anybody that is investing in a product but not investing in the marketing of that product, you were better off starting the other way around.
Yeah, I can see that.
You were better off starting off with marketing a product and then creating a product than you were creating a product and not marketing it.
Right. No, absolutely. So like, and I know you're someone that's like you said, you educate yourself, you're always a student of the game, and you're somebody I've seen firsthand, like do everything, like up to the marketing. Like I remember seeing you in the Metro, like so it's a newspaper in San Jose, Aaron, like in the Bay Area, where it features, you know, different artists from, you know, not just music, but just all different types of art. And this guy right here has been in it, like with his debut album and other albums and shows he was doing. So he's somebody that definitely understands, you know, the marketing and that's been, you know, recognized for that. So
And,
so why
and it
go
doesn't mean just and I also want to elaborate on this marketing thing. It doesn't just mean paying a bunch of people to do a bunch of stuff for you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you can shovel meaningless dollars into meaningless marketing, and you'll get the same thing out of it as you did when you began.
Mm-hmm.
It takes research. You have to know your audience. You have to first have a clear, concise idea of the audience that you're trying to reach.
Mm-hmm.
And then you also have to target that audience. If you're not able to target an audience, you know, if you're doing, you know, wide net casting, you know, advertising, it's not going to work out well for you.
Right.
Like and that's really important. Like you can blast things, you know, it takes a lot of money to super blast things, you know, if you got it, whatever, super blast
Yeah.
everything, you know, but it's you're gonna be wasting money if you could do a lot better by strategically placing, you know, portions of that money into meaningful marketing, and then that's how you would actually be able to, you know, see some green from it.
Right. And I like what you said about just going back to just doing research, because a lot of, you know, aspiring musicians or rappers right now that, you know, no matter how old they are, they can be in high school or they can be in their 40s, but anybody looking to start this definitely needs to do their research. And that's something I've always, you know, respected about you. You've researched like every aspect of the game to make you successful, you know, in our community and in our market. And I know it's allowed you to go on tour with people you might never have thought of you've been on tour with, like when you first started. You know what I'm saying? So I
Right,
just
right.
want to so kind of tell us like what that journey looked like up until, you know, recently. Like how when
Yeah,
were
what
you
would
like
you say?
when were you like, oh, I can get paid from this, to where it was just a passion and you were doing it because you love to do it? And when did you start realizing like, oh, I can get paid from this, I can kind of make some side money, or I can kind of make a living from this? Like when did that kind of happen for you, and how were you able to progress and build on top of that throughout the years?
You, you know, probably like after I made my first project, very
Mm-hmm.
first project, Out the Trunk project. I was you know, I was just giving it out, you
Mm-hmm.
know, made a couple hundred copies, gave it out to see how people liked it,
Mm-hmm.
and one thing that's always important is that whenever I have a project, like I book a lot of shows. Nowadays I book tours, but
Yeah.
before I would book a lot of shows around that project. Um, so you get to like see some of it live, get some energy to the project.
Mm-hmm.
You get to pass it around to more hands. It's if you're able to create an experience with people, that's how you start creating an audience. Those people that are touched, or those people are really like, man, that are really communicating with you that they enjoyed it, or that they enjoyed the music or the performance. you know you know you you gotta take note of who those people are and lock in with them.
Yeah.
Next time you got the next joint coming out, or the next set of shows in their area. But it's really important to do that. So honestly, like, I was doing it because I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I just want people to hear it.
Yeah.
You
And I
know,
know, I mean, just for me personally, like I've been out, especially, back in the day, like I've been out downtown in the Bay Area, downtown San Jose, all these different places, and I would like run into you and you'd be, passing out flyers or passing out your music, or, walking in the bars like, hey, can I rap real quick? Can I get on the mic and rap real quick? Seeing you freestyle. So all that stuff, you're always, engaged with the public. And I think that's something that's very important.
that that was important when I started.
Mhm.
That was super important. Um, that's kind of what gave me that go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was really um I was just really like, I just like being out at the time, and I just really like being out, and if someone was gonna give me opportunity so other people could hear something, I was gonna seize that opportunity. Um, and throughout the time, I started making the more serious album,
Mhm.
which is the Under the Radar album.
Mhm.
That was like my first actual debut album.
Yeah, I remember
So,
that one.
and I invested a lot in the album. I had a lot of major features on the album. I had a lot of Bay Area features on there. The album
Mhm.
had Rest in Peace to Jacket on it, Rest in Peace
Yeah.
Maximilian on it. Federation on it, Sean T, Messy Marv. It was just one of those, had all my boys that I grew up with on it.
Mhm.
It was just one of those projects that culminated everything.
Right.
It was like this is my first debut push, like actual push. Like, hey, I'm gonna try to do something with this. So you remember all the flyers and all the shows,
Mhm.
and all the posters, and getting CDs in the stores and all that stuff. And that's the hustle that nobody even has to do anymore. But that was actually a real grind, like getting your CD in the store.
Mhm. I remember that was like shortly. I remember you were working on that album like shortly. Maybe after I met you. You might have been working on it already before I even met you. But I remember like around that time, like that was like your sole focus was getting that one out there, and just to see it well received by by everybody locally and everybody in our circle was dope to see. So I know that so you got your first album out.
I mean, I bet basically you want to talk about the point where I thought that, like, I can make some money with this.
Mhm.
It was the point I decided to invest in it.
Mm. Mhm.
You know, it's the point that I decided to invest in it, like invest in top-notch recording, top-notch engineering, big name producers, big name features. Like
How about how about even investing in networking?
oh yeah, I mean
Mhm.
that was me every time I was out. I was traveling. I rocked the show, 7 days, seven nights a week. Going to work every day. Then rocking shows, driving hours out, driving hours back, just to like sometimes just be in the building with movers and shakers. And I told people all the time, they didn't get me. They're like, man, you be everywhere. You be performing those places. I'm like, nah. But a lot of time when I step in the building, there's an opportunity, and I almost never leave without one.
Yeah, and I've seen it. I've seen it with my own eyes.
I
Like, I'm
almost
like, what?
never
You're out
leave
here?
without an opportunity. And when you go out of your way to show up places, people appreciate it.
That's
Mm-hmm.
right. That's right. Dude, I love what I got dealing with artists right now. It's like they want to do shows, right? But they don't want to pay $20 to show up at somebody else's show.
Show up, show some love. I
Mm-hmm.
guarantee you it comes back. Just show some love. Like sometimes I can't go somewhere, but it's someone showing up to my show with an opportunity. Man, show some love.
That's right. You get what you
Go
put
go.
out, not what you want.
I show up the places. Whether it's to support somebody or support the entity throwing the show or support the venue. I show up. I buy a drink. I kick it for a little bit, dap hands, and a lot of time that leaves with an opportunity, like almost every time. So I was out. I was out all the time.
Aaron, you don't
Like
understand. YDMC was out all the time. Like
I was
I would be,
out.
I would be in downtown San Jose with with my brother or like with my family eating dinner, and like after I had met him and everything, I recognized him and stuff. I'm like, wait, you're here, you're here. I start running into him, just like anything that had to do with nightlife or music or anything
Yeah,
like that. Even though I would just be out and about, just doing regular stuff or going to the club. Like he was
right.
out here promoting himself and meeting people and getting his music heard. So I've always respected that grind that he had.
Now,
And that still got residuals to this day. Like to this to like because now like I now most of the time if I show up somewhere, business is it's a business situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But every now and then I go out and support the homies and stuff, and people appreciate me being there.
Absolutely.
And the same thing still happens. Hey man, I'm not sure if you want to do this or not, but and I'm just, the same thing happens. Like the same thing happened. Like show some love. Like it doesn't matter that, people are like, oh well, you're here. Yeah, I'm here. Good.
you
I'm
weren't
glad
on
you're
the
here.
flyer. What you doing here?
Yeah.
Right.
Right, right. Yo, right now everybody is. I'm loving what you're saying. I want to hear more about. I want to hear more from you in terms of what does that hustle look like? Maybe what it looked like at your time on the come up, versus what it looks like today. Trying to get into CD stores isn't as relevant today as
Right.
it was back then.
Right.
But still a large part of what the grind looks like, a large part of the machine is still very, very similar.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, so like on definitely like on the event level, um, showing face is still major. Showing face is still major.
Right.
So that
Even
has
if you're
not
getting
changed.
paid or not.
Show up, show some love to the entity, show some love to the venue you mess with, show some love to your boy if they getting on or something. Like just your homie DJing, step in, have a drink, throw a finger up and get out. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
it don't matter, man. Just show some love, even just for a little bit. We get it now. We all got families now. We, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got our own schedules to go by, you know, but show some love because they appreciate it more because people understand that.
Right. And something that's dope that I want people to see and other artists to see, like you could still make a living. You could still be a very respectable artist and not be like at the Grammy Awards and things like that. And like, and a lot of that respect comes from the local level, like just seeing you, you know, throughout the community for all these years and it's on the streets and in downtown and stuff like that. Like every that I've ever seen you talk to or mess with, like has the utmost respect for you, you know, not only as an artist, but as a person. And like, just speaking from what I've seen your opportunities go from it could have been about, you know, rapping and performing, but then I've seen you like have places, oh, can you be our promoter? Can you promote this for us? And like that had nothing to do with music, and you've had opportunities to promote for places and you know,
Yeah.
make a living that way.
Yeah, promote, man. Yeah, I mean, so there was there went so I was talking about there wasn't a time where you things weren't just like wide open. You kind of had to grind your way to get in. I was getting my way in the doors. You know, I'm still San Jose Cypher Squad. You know, I'm still part of that. But to get in, like I was 20 years old. I had rest in peace Kong, or man. He made me battle people outside to get in.
Oh, serious? That's
He
how you
said,
get
he
in.
said,
Yeah.
he said, of course there's that Johnny V's,
Yeah.
and I was like, man, let me get on the mic, because that's all I was doing. Like, still, I'm just like, hey man, like, I exhausted all like, the college shows and everything like that. So I'm like trying to get up in the clubs and everything, not quite 21, but still at the door, still at every door. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Still at every door. But like San Jose went through kind of like a change, and like for a second there was like no venues. Like music was shut down. Like the city like shut down rap for like a few years. It was weird. And in like select places were open, but that kind of like took the sting out of the area. So it's kind of like how I started becoming more of a show promoter. Because me and the boys needed a spot to get down, and I figured everybody else did too.
Yeah.
So we started throwing events: Redwood City, Santa Cruz, Oakland, San Francisco. We had a nice little run going on out in Mountain View. Basically, like all kinds of spots that wasn't San Jose, because San Jose wasn't messing with it.
Right.
And so like while everyone's just like, oh, I can't do shows out here, blah, blah, I'm like I've been gone.
Yeah.
I'm hitting up I'm hitting up Salinas, I'm going up to Sacramento, I'm going down to Fresno, establishing series of shows, establishing little mini brands everywhere. We have Rock the Mic. You remember Rock the Mic? Got Bobby D. Redwood City.
For sure. Yeah.
We had that Real Spit in Santa Cruz. What was the Oakland joint called?
So you're starting to.
But we had little mini jump offs, little mini brands, and we're tapping in with the people that we've been tapped in with, all the time. And
that's very important. So would you say people started to recognize you by these mini brands? So in these different places, you're being recognized, as an artist or as a promoter, but with these brands specific to that city, I guess you could say, right?
Yeah, and it's like, don't get me wrong, it was a spot for all of us to rock to. But then, we're mixing fan bases, and so like, go to Frisco show. We got some Frisco. I get some of the Friscos on me rapping. I get some of the SJ homies on there rapping. And then now everyone's got a bond, and they basically doubled up. And then we did the same thing in Santa Cruz, and then our base doubled up there, and then Redwood City, our base doubled up there. And that's really like I was just thinking like collaboration music wise. Sometimes you got the writer and you got the producer. why can't we be collabing on shows? So we started collabing on shows
Mm.
with each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that helped keep things alive. And you know, and it started making some like cool money too.
Yeah.
So once San Jose started opening back up to hip hop and stuff, I linked up with a couple brands, you know, 408 Inc. and
Mm-hmm.
mainly 408 Inc. My man Player Ray, and we he started an agency where he was having, you know, contact with larger underground artists
Right.
that be on tour, and you know, he started trying to get San Jose kind of be the spot. I kind of hopped on that like real early when you was first starting, and I rocked a few tours with Ray. Like we rocked like whole western half of the country together,
Mm-hmm.
and then we did some, yeah, oh yeah. I jumped off at the Wyoming stop. I was like, all right, I gotta get back.
I gotta get back home.
But it was tight though. It was tight, man. Saw like buffaloes like headbutting on the roads. It was like, it was crazy, bro.
It just so any kids or any people out there looking to start, you know, a career, just name some of the people that you've been able to work with or at least be on tour with. I bet some people will be surprised to hear some of the names.
I mean, like, you know, with Ray, you know, we're bringing artists here, and then but you know, the first time we really started linking up, I was on tour with him and Adlib, Wildcard.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we then we ended up doing a tour with well, I went and did a tour, I did a few shows with E40, did a, you know, I went on tour like from here to Seattle with Jacka.
Right. No, rest in peace. I remember
Yeah,
you introduced me to him. I never thought I'd
yeah,
ever meet
that was
him in
my
my life.
family, man.
Yeah, you introduced me to him, and he was the coolest dude, man. Like, rest in peace to him.
Yeah, yeah. So
And no, go ahead.
we went to you know, I've been able to ride. I went on that run with San Quinn. That was a long little run. That was cool.
Man, these are a lot of the legendary artists. You know, not just Bay Area artists, but artists in general that have big fan bases that have been successful in
And
the
it's
game.
and it's like these are like based on like collaborations I've had with the entities that are like supplying these shows. You know what I mean? For them. So, you know, once again, you know, it's important for you to tap in with the folks that you know.
Absolutely. And
You
it goes
know,
back to what you said. It goes back to what? Just showing love, right? And all these opportunities.
just showing love. Like, I mean, like, I ain't saying just like show love and like expect some gain out of it, but like
Yeah.
genuinely go out and show some people some love sometimes, and
Yeah.
you
Doesn't hurt.
know
Doesn't oh,
that
yeah.
same energy comes back to you. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm not saying
exactly.
go out there like, well, I said what's up, so where's my opportunity? Like,
Yeah,
no,
yeah, no, you can't do that.
I'm saying that energy flows. Let that energy flow back to you.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's like show some love. It doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't hurt you. You know, you can always, that's something that's always available to any artist, you know, that has material and is looking to advance with their skill set or just advance, you know, with the whole networking slash marketing. So all of that, all these different factors come into play when you do that one simple thing. It sounds like, especially from your experience.
But see, you had, if you're gonna like, if we were gonna start all those little mini brands like
Mm-hmm.
out of nowhere, like, you know, we didn't have like the home city pull. You know, we really had to make sure that our, you know, our flyer game was on point. We had to
Mm-hmm.
make sure that we had people putting up posters in the area because we're not from there. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so this took feet work. You know,
Yeah.
it took multiple feet to do things out there. You know, out of the area, because
Right.
like the worst thing you can do is like plan a show somewhere and don't promote it in that area at all, and like expect like all the homies to show up from your hometown. It might happen.
Mm-hmm.
It does happen,
Mm-hmm.
but you're not putting yourself in probable successful situation at
Right.
all.
No, this is dope, man. I'm glad you're giving out this free game to anybody. These are definitely a lot of business lessons in here, and especially lessons just for aspiring artists and things like that. So let's kind of just, I don't know, like fast forward a little bit. So you got this going, you got your promotion on point, you're doing
Yep.
shows, you got albums, you're touring with like these big names, big Bay Area names, and then kind of take us through when, March 2020 hit. Like
Ooh.
how was that, and how did that, I know it affected the shows for sure, but how did it kind of slow you down? And I don't know if you were releasing anything around that time, if you had a lot of momentum build up, kind of just tell us how that affected you and how you were able to kind of pursue and keep going.
All right. So like I was supposed to be on tour. I had been on tour since like November.
Mm-hmm.
And I was supposed to be on tour until June.
Oh wow, okay, yeah.
So so it was rolling, everything was cool. February was dope, Um everything was super cool. And literally like the day that I'm about to like hop on the plane to Spokane to start this next run with Twisted Insane,
Mm-hmm.
it was literally like a daytime decision. Like we were rocking the show that Friday on the 13th. We were rocking the show in on the east side, and we were just watching it, and we were just like, oh snap. And then we watched the show. I mean, and then the next day I was about to hop on the flight,
Mm-hmm.
and that was I made it kind of game time decision. Called my boy up in Spokane. I was just like, yo, is the show still gonna be going on? He's like, I don't. And it was like real bad in Spokane before it even was in the Bay.
Gotcha.
Washington was hit really bad.
Mm-hmm.
And so he said, I don't think anything's going on, man. And so I stayed home. And then
Right.
of course, like by Monday, it's like, yeah, you guys aren't going back to work. I was like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay. I had I had about 10 grand invested in tours.
Yeah.
That kind of got erased. And like
Right.
the thing that hurts about that 10 grand invested in tours is that like, I would have got like 20 back. So
Yeah.
that was so one thing that sucked about it is that was kind of like that was gonna be like another step up. You know what I mean?
Sure. I mean, you had been building all these years, and I know you're like, everything, you always have that momentum going. You're always doing something, you're always planning the next thing. So I know you're very detailed with everything that you set up for
I
yourself.
mean, it's like same thing with the label, like,
Mhm.
keeping everything, on and up, even if it's not me, like I'm working on something, working on
Right.
something for somebody else, we got our artists that we got to keep going.
Sure.
But yeah, that was set up, man. And
Mm-hmm.
so like March wipe, like okay. April wipe. Ooh, that one
Yeah.
hurt a lot. April was supposed to be super, super good. And all right. Maybe May, wipe. Like
Dang. Wiped everything
we're
out.
like June. We're like, okay, June and July got some good things in it, you know. Let's at least, let's pray for June. Let's pray for May and June and July, so at least we can get like a quarterback what we invested or something. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
No, those are wipes too.
Man.
So like financially it hurt,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And that's when you've already a lot of money you've already put into some of the stuff. Like a lot of it you can get back.
Yeah.
Some of it we're able to get back, but like, some of it like plane tickets and stuff we're able to like put on hold and just sit in the account,
Mm-hmm.
those kind of things were you know, salvageable, but not everything.
Yeah, right.
Not everything that you put in, not all the tour merchandise and, you know, banners, apparatuses, all that stuff
Mhm.
that you purchase, you know, yeah, they can get used again, but
Right.
you know, that was all like, you know, there was a lot invested for that tour.
Man, so like once all these things were wiped out, was there a next move? Was there anything significant you had to do or that you did to kind of pivot your business model as far as being an artist? And I know you're doing the shows heavy. So did you pivot towards something else more
Well,
heavily? Or how'd
well,
that
yeah,
work?
the show stopped for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, but so after July, there's like, oh, July's gone. We're not doing anything in July. It was kind of just like, all right, well, my calendar is clean.
Mm-hmm.
I what I'm supposed to do now, kind of thing.
Sure.
You know, I was sitting there just hanging on, you know, probably already foolishly, but still just hanging on, you know, just, you know, and then just like, all right, whatever. Um, so I said, all right, we're gonna have our own show. All right, we're everyone's at home right now. You can only do, no one can go anywhere, no one can get anywhere, no one's gonna house anyone anywhere, no one wants to be anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna start rocking for people. We're gonna do it. Well, it's only supposed to be one show.
Right.
We're gonna do one show for all our people and more. Everyone that, you know, wants to tune in, and we pushed it really hard and everything. So we're gonna have our own live stream show. Where we're able to perform and you know, kind of just catch up with people because nobody's seen anybody in
Yeah.
long. You know, no one had seen anybody in months. You know, we just finished getting out of all the lockdowns and all that craziness and things like that. So
Mm-hmm.
nobody had seen anyone at all.
Right.
You know, people living on like just the other side of the city but hadn't seen each other in so long. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So we started, and these are all like people that would be at the shows. You know,
Okay.
all the people that would come out to the events, all the people that would be throwing an event, all the
Mm-hmm.
people that would be performing at an event. There's a lot of people that really got left on an island, you know,
Yeah.
right then. You know, there's a lot of different people, and I'm not even just talking like hip hop. I'm talking like all of music.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Right.
I'm talking about comedians. They couldn't go do their thing anywhere. Um, you know, a lot of people got put on an island when that happened.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That shit. I know that affected any type of performer. Like you had to have been affected majorly with just everything that went down.
You know, dancers couldn't get into their gyms.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You know, there weren't even outdoor events yet for people to be hula hoopers or whatever they do. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like nobody could do anything, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Nothing. So art was kind of like shut down for a second.
Oh hell yeah. Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
but
Tell us about how, like, really now where the money is in music, because a lot of people probably think it's still in selling the, you know, the CDs or selling the, you know, a lot of people probably the downloads, you know what I mean? It seems the money in music has really shifted to the what was ancillary stuff now before, but now it's you know, sync licensing or events. I mean, this a huge impact that when you can't do an event, you know, talk to us about that.
I mean,
Where the
this
money is in the music game.
this one live stream show was basically the breaking point. You know what I mean? We had to do something also for like survival.
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
you know what I mean? So we threw a live stream show. Found a way to monetize it. Which also, like we were talking about doing research before, I had to educate myself on, really making sure I knew how to monetize, you know, events, get, it's the same thing like a show, we're able to have people like buy tickets,
Right.
But if the hustle is really, and sync licensing is huge. Let me just say that off top. Sync licensing is huge.
Yeah, you lucky to get it.
You got to find a way to monetize yourself. It's not always, and it's not going to be always the way that you imagine it,
Right.
Nominate yourself.
You're not, it's not going to always happen the way that you imagine it.
Right.
Somebody's not going to like email you like, oh my God, you have the best song I ever streamed. Let's take you to the top. Like, no, you might get a clip of something heard, but you getting some revenue. You might have you might get a clip of your song in a Netflix film. That's some more revenue. The hardest part, I think, for artists is to get their mind off of what they can't do, but also keep their head out of the clouds. Like they're, you're not. First of all, I tell people all the time, I'm like, they're just like, oh, I want to be like big, like blah blah blah. I'm like, that's still big work. If you're not working for yourself now, you're not gonna want to be big. You're gonna quit. Like, you gotta work now. Sync licensing is important. I mean, we know that now streams are big, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's like a large amount of what people are amounting to. I mean, some of it is like a success thing. It's like a like a number that is a level for them. Or you got, you have a million views or a million streams on this, but that million views or streams is like not getting you anywhere near $1 million. So you have to find other ways to market yourself. Or
monetize yourself, right?
Right. Monetize yourself. You gotta, like, merchandising is big right now, especially over the pandemic, when people couldn't see you, when people couldn't go out to see you, go out to slap hands with you or listen to your music personally. Merchandising took a huge lead. Like everyone's at home anyway. You're mailing shit to people. People gotta wear clothes. People collect things or whatever. Like, that didn't stop. People didn't stop wearing clothes over the pandemic.
Right. So you see a lot of like, I mean, were you doing like a lot of shirts and hats and things like that? Did you see?
Yeah,
our
merchandising is big. We kept on with the live streams. And I mean, we've had 81 weekly episodes since we started that. So 82. I know.
Oh man, where can we find that? Let the people know. Where can we
go man, that's
look at that?
I mean, you guys can go to diffdope.com/bigchillin, or you can just YouTube search Diff Dope. It's on there.
Okay.
Hey, hold on, man. That was too low key. You trying to slip that by. Say that, slow that down. You like you go to live, go.
Yeah, you can find it at diffdope.com/big chillin' or YouTube search Diff Dope.
So like in your background, right? Yeah. Okay.
There we go.
All right, cool. Nah, man. So that's dope. So like you found a way to pivot, right? You started doing more merchandise. You started doing live streams, like
Live stream you do once a week for the last 82 weeks.
Yep.
That's dope.
like you found a way, bro. Like I'm super happy for you and like I'm proud of you that you were able to do that for yourself and for other people and create those opportunities. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what it was. So first few were just shows, like performances, us rocking, and then we catch up, updates, what's going on, since we haven't seen each other in a while. And people would kind of like, log on, and we kind of developed like a, decent group of people that are always there. I'm like, well, these people would be there anyway.
Yeah.
What do you do? Do you sell tickets per, or is it like a subscription and they can participate in all of these live streams, or do you sell individual?
No. It's no, actually, so we did that for a while. And then we stopped doing that because we started using we started using the platform as a tool. So now it's a we use it for label updates. We have we usually have like a weekly guest, and so we're able to accent what other artists are doing in our community, or other communities. They get an opportunity to share. We have we have utilized the show. Big Chillin' with Dip Dope, by the way, is the show. I don't think I said
Oh yeah, definitely check that out, man.
Yeah. Big Chillin' with Dip Dope is a show. Basically what we've been using it as a platform to promote our music and to promote our merchandise. So what we did is that we made it like, okay, this is just like a little it's something that is like open to all. And it allows other people's fans to interact with them if they're like the guest of the week.
I see. Dude, that's dope. Oh man, I gotta check this out.
So then we're pushing our merchandise to their fans as they're on our platform.
Gotcha.
And so forth and so forth. So it's
dude, that's a good ass idea.
It's been working. Like, and that's what I really like about it. Is that it was it was cool for a little bit, having it like ticketed, we could like purchase the, view the show and things like that. But it got a little tougher, and unemployment ran out.
Yeah, of course.
So,
they don't give a damn. Like, this is what you get, and that's it. That's why we created this. We went through similar situations with our careers. So this is why we have this platform. We want to get people stories and share how people were able to pivot or start new businesses or new aspects to their pre-existing business for themselves to survive and stay afloat, like you're saying.
Right. So we figured that it was better, and we deliberated as a group and figured it's better to have it like open to all, and then that way we have a larger audience to promote our stuff too. And then if we have special guests, if their artists, their guests, check it, it all checks out.
So it sounds like to this day, right? Even though, shows are back or they're starting to come back or whatnot, but even to this day, like, you're still up with the merchandising, right? Like, that's still a huge part of what you're doing now, where it wasn't maybe like as huge of a part.
Yeah, that's I mean, even the shows that like we've been doing shows again. We've had a bunch of shows this year already. But
So you're back. You're back and with more
yeah,
merchandising.
right.
Dang, that's sick,
Yeah, no,
man.
my next tour starts in April. So we're back on tour in April.
Oh man, that's good to hear, bro. I'm glad you
Yeah,
were able
man, it's been a long
to
time.
survive. Yeah, no, for sure. So it sounds like the live streams, the merchandising kind of kept you afloat, or kept you afloat to the point where we're at now, right? And where you can kind of do live shows and get back out there again. But now you have your merchandising at a level where maybe it wasn't before, right? So kind of you got like a new kind of
we
leg
we
to
had,
business.
we had to adapt.
Yeah,
You know, it's like, oh, we have this merchandise like printed, but you know, can't do anything with it now. You know,
right.
we can't set up a booth outside of a show that's non-existent. You know what I mean? So,
Exactly. So
you
how
know,
are you?
I'm not gonna pop up a tent on the corner. I mean, I could, but
Good. You
I
could.
mean, I just wasn't going to.
How are you feeling about, how you feeling about things now, not only for yourself but for your label, and with this merchandising now in play, bigger than it that you had it before, and with shows coming back. So how do you feel about how everything's going, and how and are you looking forward to being able to thrive again, basically?
Yeah, I mean, gotta say, I'm kind of like, I don't want to say I'm thankful, but I was able to utilize the the pandemic as
Hmm.
um as like a strength for the group,
Hmm.
because well, one, I was working from home, so I was able to do you just bang more stuff out, but
Yeah.
everyone else, as well, you know we were able to like meet more, and you know like talk about really just talk about business, talk about things that we should do, things that we want to do, um and just have an opportunity to create more content to promote,
Hmm.
to push that, our live stream and everything as well. um a lot of these things would kind of still be lacking if we were still on the road.
Yeah.
It would have got pushed back further, and then like what we off touring like
Right.
in like July, but like August and September are pretty nice. Things like that. Where it might have just got like pushed off to the winter time again.
So
Um, and-
would you say the pandemic in a way kind of made you a better, maybe not artist, but like a better entrepreneur and a better, like, just all things focused?
yeah, I mean, I had time. I had time to do like I did tons of research and
Hmm.
um research and virtual conferences,
Hmm.
revolving like music business, entrepreneurial business, you know specifics, making sure like I knew enough that I could teach the rest of the crew, make sure they
Yeah.
understood sync licensing and things like that.
Yeah.
um I was able to have that time to do that.
Right.
So
And that's what self-nominated is, man. Like, you gotta, put some time in for yourself and put some research in so you can come out on top, and like, and know things, and being able to survive certain economic or financial situations. It's not depending on anybody. Like, let me just do my research, and look at all the opportunity you created off of that, not only for yourself but for others. You know what I mean?
yeah, I mean that's how it had to happen, man. It was we were just you know we just had to regroup and
Hmm.
reattack. I mean, we weren't just gonna like roll over and die because
No, you can't.
we couldn't do anything anymore. Like, and
Right.
I feel like a lot of artists did get to work creating, but like not a, I think that's kind of where a lot of artists stopped. They stopped at the time of creating, but they
Hmm.
didn't stop on how to create they didn't, like, very few started to create the business around them.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So it was definitely an important time to kind of figure out the business aspect of things, which I mean, I knew you would do. I mean, I know you, but this is like dope and inspiring to any artist or any, entrepreneur hearing this. That you always got to find a way, you know what I mean? And don't have any of that self-doubt or anything like that.
Yeah, it works for any business owner.
Hmm.
You have to be able to research your environment and how you're going to adapt to your situations, you know, invest in your company,
Hmm.
target your audience. It's that's why that's when it became like, when you start thinking that way, that's when it becomes like, not like music creation so much as it becomes music business. Like, it's still
Hmm.
music, but there's business involved. I mean, like, if you were an artist and you were throwing big installations and selling, 30-foot canvases for $800, then that you're in the art business now.
Right,
You know
right.
what I mean? Because you're not just gonna do that and then and be like, here, and someone's just gonna walk up and slap you $800 because you painted some 30-foot mural. No one cares. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
Yeah, yeah.
but they care if you market yourself to your target audience properly.
Right. No, it's very, very important. I hope people pay attention to that as well. But no, I'm super proud that we got that story here tonight. And I want to ask you, I don't know if Aaron has anything else, but I definitely want to ask you, what would be like your advice right now on how the music business is, even locally? Like, what would be your advice to somebody right now, whether they're in high school or whether they're 40 years old, it doesn't matter. Like, if they want to get started, and want people to hear their music and kind of just, getting started. If they haven't like recorded anything yet, but they have this idea and they write already, what would the first step to take would be? What would be a good first step to take nowadays?
I mean, you gotta make music, man. I
Hmm.
mean, if you, eh, I mean, it's you're in the day and age where you could literally create a persona and market it and not even have any music out. Like, people
Right,
do
and not
that,
even leave the house either.
and also not even leave the
Yeah.
house. But I mean, like, you have to start with the music.
Yeah.
If you have to start with your product,
Hmm.
but you know, do research on things. Don't don't come out and call yourself Little Sizzle, because you'll be like the millionth Little Sizzle ever.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Right.
do some research with your name. You know what I mean?
Make it a brand, right? Like make everything a
Make
brand.
it a brand. Like, you
Yeah.
can't, you know, you 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 have to be able to stand out on your own.
Hmm.
But make the music, and make your own music. Like, don't make music that you think people want to hear. Make your music, man.
Yeah. No, that's dope
Like,
advice, man.
make
And
your music.
that's
I,
coming from somebody that has done it and is still doing it and is still doing shows going on. How many years have you been doing this now?
Man, see that I think that poetry show was in like 2004 or something. So,
Man,
and that's when my boy said, like, yeah, put that on the beat.
so
So,
you're 18 years in, you know what I mean? That's crazy. And you've been able to sustain this and you've been able to make this part of your living, which is super cool. And no, this is dope, man. Thank you so much for being on here. And Aaron, anything else?
yeah,
You
I got
you
one
want to
last
ask
question.
YDMC?
I got one last question. What would you tell people uh, for any business, but even more specifically to music business, when they're thinking of investing in themselves and investing in their marketing? It's probably a percentage of revenue. That what kind of percentage would you say be prepared to invest this much in? You know, if you were to say, I don't know, I want to hear what the percentage you would say. I don't want to throw out something.
all right. So, I'm gonna, I mean, I mean, if you just starting, like, don't worry about revenue. But if you you know, if you're going at this and you have a brand and you started making some money, first of all, start saving some money. Start saving some money.
Right.
Create, split all the money that you make in three. Okay, split all the money that you make in three. Okay. A third of that, just like, I don't care if it's like $1.25 because you got paid $5 for the show. Okay, like, put $1.25 away. Like, that's for your brand. All right. Put another $1.25. $1.25. That's for whatever you need it for. If it's like merchandising, recording, whatever. Your homie that'll do your beat for $1.25, hit him up.
So anything you have, just cut it up into thirds.
Yeah, and then that last one, that last third, that's your boat through the water, man. That's your boat through the water. I want that kind of helped me out a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Because especially when you're first starting to get a pot of money together, especially when you're first getting a pot of money together, like, it's hard to save, because you're going in so many directions, and but you have to save. Like, you do have to save. You can't just keep it in like a generational cycle of money, like, and to where, like, you never know how much you even made and you don't have anything to save for it. You don't have any, you can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
You're
Like,
talking colonized language right here.
Yeah.
It's what we do. So
word. Yeah. So you can't do that, man. So you have to try to save. You gotta do your necessaries. Take care of your necessaries too. All the necessities that you need to make the art. Like, you got to do that too. But
even if that means working during the day, right? Or even if that means doing a little side hustle, you got to fund your dream somehow.
Got to fund, man. Like,
you got to invest. You're basically saying you need to be prepared to invest a third into your marketing, branding, the machine that makes people aware that you exist, so that you can monetize.
Right. You got. I mean, put a third in, and yeah, be prepared for that. You got to be able to save, and you got to take care of your necessities. So that was the easiest way that worked for me. Obviously you want to save more, and you want to invest more. But, like, we understand that it's not starting out. It's not like that.
We got to start somewhere.
You kind of don't get a choice with how much you can invest and save sometimes when you're just started.
Right. But the important thing is just starting, isn't it? Isn't starting just starting,
but it's
right.
But it's starting, but it's also making the choice.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not going to let this be always, like, I'm not going to always, like, have this to be fueling it, have nothing to say for it. Just to be fueling it, nothing to say for it. I did that for a little bit, and it's frustrating because you have to change the mindset. You have to create a business mindset.
Yeah.
If you're not viewing it in a business mindset, you might be frustrated and not even understand why it hurts. I mean, you have to approach it with the business mindset. You have to approach yourself as a business. Like, okay, yeah, you're the writer, you make the music and everything, but if that's all you are, then keep doing that. But then just only do that.
Yeah.
You want to talk about being going further, then you have to create yourself as a business mind, and you have to view yourself that way.
Right. Or you're paying somebody to do it and not knowing what it's worth.
I like I said, I always, it's good to pay the people that know how to do it right. It's always strong to know about it on your own as well.
Yeah.
Not everybody's honest, man.
Oh yeah, we know that.
And some cats want to be in the music business and like forget that part. And I'm just like, what part about that did you forget? Like, this is the entertainment industry, son. On any level, you know what I mean? You gotta watch your back. And that works for any business too. I mean, you could have a janky landlord for your storefront.
Yeah.
You could gave some money to promote your product, but it didn't happen. I mean, like, the same thing happens for small businesses as well. You gotta
absolutely. No, you're right about that. That's why you always got to do your research and stay a student. And it just goes back to even the beginning of the conversation, like research, stay a student, especially if it's something, you're passionate about, then you can never let your learning stop. You know what I mean?
The pandemic allowed the individuals that wanted to take things in their own hands, the DIY community and everything like that, they flourished. Ideas came out, cookbooks were made, knickknacks were invented, like weird little things, like people who had time to sit and actually think, and creative minds went to work. And some of those creative minds are making money now.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because of that work.
That's why we're here. That's why we're here, and we're talking to people like you, getting these things out here so people could understand that there's another side. There's a way out. You don't have to depend on anything.
Right.
So no, it's just super dope, man. And like, tell the people one more time, please, where they can find you, like your social medias, where they can hear your music, your record, all that good stuff.
Let's see, I'm at YDMC on Instagram and Twitter. I got a Facebook page too, YDMC. YDMC Music on TikTok. TikTok is fresh. You got.
Oh yeah, I got to check you out on there.
you got to adapt.
Yeah, you do. We just had that conversation the other day. This is like you got to.
Plus TikTok is really like the only platform that was really made for music. No one really understands that because it's been taken by a bunch of other silly stuff, but still those things are based on music. Like, I don't know if you guys are satellite radio people, but I am, and there's a TikTok station where there's just songs that are big from TikTok videos and stuff.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So there's literally a TikTok station. You know what I mean? Like, and I mean, look at it, like it's a music note. It was based on music.
Right.
It's like I said, it's a lot of other stuff, but like, they got like the duets, people having open verses, open beats,
Yeah, I see those all the time.
Creative and what I mean? It's a platform meant for music. It's social media for music. So
your YDMC music on TikTok?
YDMC music at TikTok.
All right, I'm gonna check you out, bro.
That's another little thing why it's important to research, because when you figure things out, things aren't really what you thought they were.
Right. No, you're absolutely right. And these are good.
TikTok dropping a lot of stuff, and people like, I'm not getting into TikTok. It's like, and I'm just like, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna research before I get one. And I researched and I got, and I'm like, oh, this thing's meant for music. Everyone's silly for not having one if they're a musician. So
Yeah.
Man, you're right. I'm glad you said that because, like, even I thought the same way about it. And like, it could be used for anything. You see, like, entrepreneurs on there, but they use the music to draw people in.
Bro,
Like
but
you
like,
said, yeah.
but like, I'm a big life hack guy. So like, I'm always looking up like life hack videos like crazy all the time because
Hmm.
I'm just like, really interested in them, and
Yeah.
TikTok got a lot of those. Also like, don't forget to check out the label Diff Dope. It's up there at Diff Dope on Twitter and
Okay.
Instagram.
And what's the website?
Diffdope.com is the website.
Okay.
It's in the middle of like a little overhaul right now. I'm moving a bunch of things around, but I should be done with that probably like tomorrow afternoon. So we're, like I said, we're always working, we're always changing up content,
Right.
changing up merch and everything, and change the web layout again. Yeah, keep it fresh, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. All right,
Uh,
I'm gonna check that out myself, and definitely want
and
everybody.
then YDMC music at on YouTube. I'm gonna check out some videos.
Okay.
Um, that's where my music videos are, and then a lot of my streaming, and then just YDMC on all streaming. Search up, check out some collabs I've done as well. Um, ydmc.bandcamp.com. I like that because even though it's not it's streaming, but it's not technically streaming, but you can actually like give an artist what you want to give them,
That's
for
cool. Right.
not like, I'm going to listen to your song 12 million times and hopefully you get what you deserve.
Right.
Know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
he's like, did you get that extra 1050? That was me streaming your song for the last month and a half. But like, no, it's something that and I'm actually like in the middle of creating some NFTs right now.
Oh, that's sick. Yeah, we've talked about that too. Now we're definitely up on that. So yeah,
Yeah.
let us know. Let us know when you drop that too. Definitely
Yeah,
want to.
yeah, yeah. We're actually gonna have a diffdope.io pretty soon. So that'll be our NFT hub for the label and everything. And we'll have a link to it on our website too. But
All right, cool, man. No, I'm definitely gonna
once again, research and adaptation is important.
Yep. See, you're already on it, man. I knew you would be. But no, this is definitely a good lesson to any business owner out there, and especially any artist. So appreciate you being on, bro. Like, seriously, this meant the world to me that you even came on here and talked to us. I know you're a busy man, but I know you're successful and you got the respect of everybody in our community. So it's always love here, and come back anytime.
Oh yeah, man. No, I like what you guys doing. I was checking out the episode I was doing with Brian and stuff,
Oh
man.
yeah,
Like,
the radio guy. Yeah,
yeah, good stuff, man. Like,
no, I appreciate it.
I think I like so far that you guys have kind of like touched on, it's not like the same thing for each person. It's like
Yeah.
I've seen how you guys really touch on different different topics with each person. I just think it's good, and I think it's good for young entrepreneurs of any kind, old entrepreneurs, like like everybody, like I'm saying, like sometimes a new entrepreneur has a leg up over an old one, just because the information is fresh there. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So everyone that's been in the grind for a minute, man, you guys gotta stay fresh, man. Keep your eyes open, research, adapt.
No, absolutely, man. That's what we're trying to do. It took us a year to put this whole vision together, but that was the whole idea. Bringing different stories, bringing different experiences together to show people there's not just one right way to do something or two right ways to do something. There are multiple ways to do something, and what not better way to learn and grow and do and being able to do something for yourself one day and provide opportunities for family or friends or other people. Like just what you're doing, bro. You're exactly what we talk about when we say like self-nominated, like stories, like this. So thank you for being on here, man.
Yeah, thank you.
No, I super appreciate y'all, man. This was good. This was real good fun. I live this, you know what I mean? I love it. You know what I mean? Like, you can't live it and not love it.
You're right. That's
You
true.
can't live it and not love it. It's not worth it.
Yep, exactly. No, for sure. But no, that's been dope. That's our time for tonight, y'all. But thank you, YDMC, once again. Check him out, all his socials at YDMC and YDMC Music on TikTok.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right, y'all. Peace out.
Later, y'all.